Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Sisterly Sparks. I am Orange Spark,
I am the Perp Spark.
And I am Pink Spark.
and we are back with week two of our series called Self Love Journey. Um, Today, we are going to talk about unconditional love, and um, that umbrella will bring in multiple topics. First, we're going to start off with our mental health check in, and then we will dive in to our assignment from Pink Spark from last week, as well as just a few topics that we have for this week's episode. How are y'all doing mentally?
I would say I'm doing pretty good. Today, try to throw some things at my way, but the devil is a liar.
Yeah, he is.
And we going to keep on pushing through.
Amen to that.
You stay being a liar.
It
I don't like
stays.
it.
And
Yeah,
re-triggering
yeah,
and
yeah,
pushing
yeah.
buttons. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
hmm
Every time. Right?
Yeah. But I take it as a challenge. It's okay. Been here before. Seen it
You
before.
got it.
Um,
Only the
yeah.
strong survive.
Yep. I got to survive. So yeah, and it's only Tuesday. So yeah.
It is
Well,
on a Tuesday.
it is. But y'all got to think, though, we go from Tuesday to Tuesday. So we still do, like, we still be having a full week of stuff. Like,
Yeah,
This is
true that.
true.
so. But I mean, to y'all point, I mean, I guess the beginning of the week, and this is just the second day, I guess. So yeah. Well, for me, what I can remember, I guess it's been okay. I mean, nothing sticks out, so I don't feel like there was nothing too terrible this week. Um, Today I am exhausted though. Um, but hey, I'm here. I'm surviving. I'm ready for these topics, ready for this discussion. So let's get to it.
Let's do it.
Except
All
for,
right.
yeah, no,
Let me.
uh-uh.
I was
Mm-mm.
getting to it.
Don't follow
I was
me. Don't follow.
getting.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Um, I'm doing all right. Shoot, hanging in there. And let me just put out there, like, y'all, I get lectures from Purple Spark almost daily. So I didn't had it multiple times today, and I enjoy them. They're needed, but just know before this happened, I already got it, and I know I'm gonna get it while we on here today. Some more. So, yeah,
Gonna get
but
this
I'm doing
work.
is and been getting it and gonna keep getting it. But I need it. It's valuable. So I hope um that Purple Spark remembers some of her input from earlier. So because it was valuable information and it was true. So we shall see if it comes up. But Pink Spark, will you um, refresh us in our assignment so that we can dive into what it is and what we discovered over the week?
Okay, so last week at the end of our discussion, our homework was to write out, imagine, think about like how you want to see yourself in X amount of time. It doesn't have to be a specific time, but what is your ultimate goal of yourself? Whether that be anything in your self heal journey, what you would like to be looking like eternally, or in your journey, things like that. Um, I guess I can start off with mine. What my ultimate thing that I imagine myself is like having. a certain type of peace. I think sometimes I have it here and there, but some situations come and take it, or I give it away. My ideal thing is to hold that throughout all situations, and things like that certain level of peace of like not upset, not mad, just like I wouldn't even say just like allowing things to happen, just being at peace with things and knowing like how I know how I show up as a person. Um, that would be another thing I'll add to is just like truly knowing who I am. I think I've already started that journey, but it's still a lot of work to be done. So I like to see my future self as being confident in myself, having a certain type of peace and standing behind it, honestly.
Period. I feel like you went real in depth, and I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Real inner.
I love that.
Thank you. So who's next?
Purple spark.
Oh, purple's next.
Now orange will go because you can lead us into the next thing. So I was very not. I guess I was very surface with
She didn't want
mine.
to do it.
First, first of all, because before you give me cursing on here. Ooh,
Oh, sorry.
it was
Okay.
not. It was not that I didn't want to do it. It was simply that I just simply already knew what my answer was. Now, granted, I didn't go in as in depth and like interpersonal. But for me, when I envision my future, I do it a lot. I do it on a daily basis. And I know just there's only one thing I've ever wanted to get out of life, and that was to be a parent. Um, so I badly want to be able to experience the entirety of parenthood from pregnancy and delivery to actually being a parent. So that's all consuming for me. That's always the goal that's sitting right in the forefront of my mind. So when I thought of that, that's what I picture for myself. I don't really um, picture too much outside of that. Um, so instantly, that was it for me. That's all I've ever really wanted to get out of my time being here and to not only be it, but to be good at it. And I know it'll come with its challenges and it won't be an easy thing, but I look forward to it and I hope it's in the cards for me. So I just felt like I didn't really need to do the research because I felt like it was just drawn out for me. But after hearing Pimp, um, there are a lot of things that I hope for myself for the future, but even like the one I just explained, I don't know that I don't know that they will come to fruition. Is that the word? So um I'm just kind of hoping and hoping. And then just hoping that if it doesn't happen that I find ways to cope and be all right with it and I guess accept it that it's just not in my cards to do so. So
But I feel like you can pass your own cards out. So at some point, I mean, if you really want it to happen, we can figure out how to make that happen. No matter how long it takes, no matter what you got to do, if it's what you're actually wanting to do, you know that you can get that done and you can have what it is that you want. So,
thanks.
mhm. Yes. I guess for me, no lie, I didn't do it neither. However,
Wait, no. Mm-mm.
Listen, but look,
No, nope,
no,
we can't go past that because how you
because I'm one also who thinks about it on a daily basis.
don't take my stuff and try to
No,
use it for
I'm
you.
really not, because I do compete with my prior self every day. I try to be better at something. I try to I try to tackle something that I feel like I have to work on, whether that be my attitude, because I am a little snappy. I do wish, and I am trying to work on trying to be more calm in, like, if not many, all situations. I do get rowdy only just because the energy just be there for me. I be feeling it. Even with our talks, I be loud. Like, my tone go from like here, and then it starts getting like this, and then when I get more into it, it's like this. Like, it just progresses. But I do I do want to be more calm at things. And just like in agreement with him, like, certain situations, sometimes your tone can make or break a situation. So I really want to try and work on that part as well, because I feel like if my tone was a little different, was a little bit more mellow, or you know what I mean, just calmer, I feel like I could have avoided um several um several instances that I feel like shouldn't have occurred. Um I also feel like there's way more for me to accomplish now. Now that I succeeded at one thing that I felt like I never would have done or haven't done. So it kind of do put me in a good space and a motivating space, like, daily, and which is why I try to challenge myself every day for something, at something, toward working towards something. I have like a million, I'm exaggerating. I have a whole bunch of like notebooks and folders and binders, and I have them everywhere. Wherever I'm at, in my car, here at home, in my daughter's backpacks, in her room. Sorry, I'm sleepy, you guys. Um, and I just write out a bunch of, one, I like to just doodle, but two, I like to write out like what a day would look like for me, or what the next month will look like for me. I've never been one to set goals, really, like as far as writing them down and following them and all that. I do wish I could be more organized too. Maybe that will help me to progress a little bit more. Maybe not quicker, but maybe to help, just get some things going. That should be. I don't know. I'm a procrastinator too, so I don't know about me working on that. I feel like I've been like that for 40 years. Okay, 39, and I feel like I try to work on it. I really do, but I don't know about that part. I just know when I'm working on something, I'm on it. When my head is with something, I got it going. But when I get in a calm, less energetic state, yeah, I could stay there for a little bit. So anyway, long story short, yes, I just want to be I just want to be better than my yesterday. I don't want to compete with anybody. I basically want everybody actually to succeed. I feel like my purpose is for me to help And I don't know, I still at this point don't know what the help is. I just know I like to help, and I feel like that's what I need to do. Maybe it's a multifaceted type help. Maybe it's in all sorts of things, speech, hands-on, just anything. I feel like, but yeah, I just want us all to be in a good space, a good headspace mentally. That way we can carry out whatever daily endeavors we have, whatever life endeavors we have. So I don't know. Um, yeah, and just to be not be so angry, because sometimes I get angry. You see how my face just went, just yeah.
What you mad about?
I don't know. Like sometimes it don't be anything. It just happens. Okay. So I wish I can control that a little bit, because I'm surprised I don't have any wrinkles or anything.
Always
Anyway, huh?
said you always frowning.
I am always frowning, but I don't be mad. I mean, well, no, yeah,
Keep it a buck.
I don't want to lie. Okay, sometimes I will feel some type of way, but sometimes I don't. And even when I don't feel a type of way, I really do have frowns on my face. Like it's just maybe because I just be thinking about so much, and what I'm thinking about is carrying out on the outside. So maybe that's what's being shown. But sometimes, most of the time, I really do be trying to be in a good space, because honestly, for real, I don't have nothing to complain about. I shouldn't be complaining about anything. I should give praise and all that to what it is that I do have, and the fact that I'm still breathing. We're still breathing. So that's one major thing for us to, you know what I mean, to
Mhm.
feel good about. So, but let's get into these topics though. So
Mhm.
yes, we are on our second week of our journey to self-love. We do have a couple topics or questions per se. And we can all chime in and give our explanation, definition slash what we want on them. I don't know who want to go first, or um, Pimp, do you want to go first? Or you want me to start it off, or
Um, I mean, are you gonna ask the question and then you just want me to go?
yeah?
Okay.
Okay. So the first one, which we have been over, we've asked this question, or we've talked about it a few times in the past couple episodes, but the first one is, what is self-love?
I would say, I don't know. That's kind of hard to just put in the sentence. Um, I think self love is just, it's an action based towards like loving and improving yourself. And I feel like it can look like many different things. It could be taking care of yourself. It could be doing self healing. Um, I think a form of self love is just really wanting the best for yourself and willing to put in the work to do it in whatever way that looks like.
You can go ahead.
You think you slick though? Is that's fine. Yes, I'll go ahead. I mean, I honestly think it's really honestly the same thing. I think when we think about, love in general, and I look at it as being like an action word, and then when I put the cell phone there, I feel like that intensifies it a little bit, for me at least. Our body is our vessel, and I feel like we need to take care of it. Everything that has to do with us, from our head to our toe, I feel like we need to give attention to. We need to treat ourselves with dignity, treat ourselves with respect, treat ourselves with kindness. I feel like, once again, I've said it before, but I feel like we are too hard on ourselves. We also do things, sometimes knowingly and unknowingly, that can affect one, either how we view ourselves, or how it affects our body, like physically, in ways. And I feel like sometimes we don't pay attention to it. But yeah, just like Pimp said, like self-care, taking care of yourself, like it encompasses all that. I don't know how else, to break that down, but that's, I mean, I second what Pimp said on top of what I said, but it really is all that.
Well, let me go ahead and third it. Because it is all those things. I think for me, I think it's all encompassing of all aspects of yourself. Loving who you are authentically, knowing that you are understanding your value and that you are worthy of occupying space, and having the confidence, and it's not a conceited confidence, but just a confidence in I accept my body, I accept who I am, I accept the good, the bad, the ugly, that I fall short of perfection, but I am me and I'm authentically me. And loving your motives, your thought process, everything possible about you and who you truly are at the core. Um, and I think there's many ways that you can show it, which is things that you guys both described. But yeah, I think there's a lot to it. But you guys have touched on a little bit of the actions, and Purple Spark, I know you said that action plays a big role in that, and it amplifies. So what does that look like for you guys? How can one show themselves self-love, as well as how can others see it, I guess? Like, how do you know if someone loves themselves or not, if that makes sense?
That makes sense. I think one way, by how they carry themselves, or how we carry ourselves. You know, not saying that you have to be in expensive clothes or have expensive things, but just 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 maintaining some type of cleanliness about you, um your speech, how you talk to others, on top of how you speak to yourself. I feel like now, this day and age, like I feel like now in this period, I show myself way more grace than I ever have. Um, because once you, like, when you go through things, sometimes it's hard to look back and realize how hard you be on yourself, like how much you beat yourself up for things. And sometimes certain things are not in your you don't have control of something. So, but we still beat ourselves up because we either can't accomplish something, we can't do something, we can't figure something out, we don't look a certain way, we don't talk a certain way. We're not where we don't have what the things that we feel like we need in life. So we put ourselves down and we make ourselves feel less of who we actually are. And I feel like we shouldn't do that. I feel like the more we show ourselves grace and the more we try to understand that some things or most things are not in our, it's not in our I forgot the word I'm trying to say. It's not in our power to handle or to control something. So we have to be okay with like different situations or how we choose to handle it. Nobody have the key code to anything, really. Nobody have a lesson plan or anything. We're going through here blindfolded, basically. We're trying to touch around, feel stuff, get a feel for things, trying different things and seeing what works, seeing what don't. And we have to be okay with that. I feel like also we should get away from using the word failure. I really feel like sometimes we can look at ourselves as failures, but I feel like there's no failures out here. I feel like there's lessons. And it's millions of them. Sometimes they're favorable, sometimes they're not. It's just all about how you look at it, how you look at them. And I'm always one that likes to try different things because I never know how something is, or I never actually was one to even want to try stuff initially, but then you come to find out if you don't try anything, you don't try to figure out something, then you never know how something is going to go. You never know how something is going to work. You never know if you will be able to accomplish something, succeed at something. You know what I mean? If you don't put yourself out there. And sometimes it's hard to listen to other people, for information regarding something that you may want to do or how you want to be, whatever. So be okay with getting answers from yourself and have confidence that you are the one that can make whatever it is that you feel like you want to accomplish or you want to do happen. So why not listen to yourself? I feel like we know what it is. We know how to get there. Sometimes we do it in our own way. And that's just something that's just a self-reflect that we have to deal with, and um, we have to come to grips with. So um, what it looks like for me, I mean, if I could get me, I try to set out me at least, even though my schedules are so busy on a daily basis, but I try to set out at least an hour to devote to myself. And sometimes that's doing nothing, absolutely nothing. I could be sitting there and I could have no TV on, no music going, no noise, no nothing. Sometimes I just need to sit. Sometimes I need to have clear space. Sometimes I need to just hear myself think, process stuff. And I feel like that's self-care for me. I mean, one of the things at least. Me going to vacuum my car. Listen, y'all, I need to do that right now, matter of fact. But just simple tasks like but that's my take in a nutshell.
I agree with a lot of things you said. As far as like how someone shows, like how you can show someone that you love yourself or you're on that journey. I feel like a lot of it's inward work, but also like when you change the inward you or things about you, I feel like it shows or should appear on the outside. So it goes along with how you're saying, like how you keep up with yourself, how you talk, things like that. And just really how you treat other people, like realizing like we all make mistakes, we all fall short, and just understand like people are at different places or levels in their life. Um, and just allowing them the room to be able to work through their journey of things. Um, and a lot of it is action based. You can't sit there and talk about what you want to do. You got to actually be willing and put in the work to do it. Because a thought is a thought, and if you leave it at that, I don't think it can do much of what you need when it comes to that self love, because it is very action based. And then I feel like once you start that journey, you're able to show that to other people. And some people can look and tell and be like, I think growth is a major indication that someone loves themselves and they're willing to put in the work. You should not be the same. And people change, but some people don't always change for the better. And you definitely got to be heading in a better direction or a different direction. You should not be going backwards. You should always be moving forward, even if it's tiny steps. So I would say growth is a big indication of someone loving themselves and putting in the work. And yeah, I think that's all I gotta say. Orange
Yeah.
part?
I'd agree. Why?
Because I agree.
No, yeah, no, because yeah, but I think the way that I would show um self love would be the basics. Making sure I eat and drink, making sure I do just basic necessities. I mean, like you touched on hygiene and things like that, and just the bare. I mean, the bare minimum. I feel like I'm pretty simple. I'm bougie to a degree, but at the same time, like truly caring for self for me is just making sure I'm consistent in the small things to ensure that I'm healthy. And that's just, I think, one of the major ways that I can show myself that I love myself. I think for other people in self love, shout out to the bigger women because I've seen this comedy lady that's fairly new. I think she new to me, but she's so like she hourglass shape, but she thick, boy. She thick, 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 and
Who is
you
it?
I don't know. She got short hair. She funny. She taught her daughter talk like, yeah, like, yeah, look at you being a mother. Like, yeah, she's hilarious to me. Okay. But to be um a plus size woman is a challenge. And for to see someone who is a plus size, beautiful woman be able to walk confidently into a room or wear what she wants to wear and feel beautiful and confident, you can only get that from loving yourself, I feel like. So that came to mind for me as well, for just how you can see that on someone and how someone can show that as well. So um
Do y'all
do
think
you,
self love can be contagious?
I
Yes.
think if you see someone loving themselves properly, you be like, hold on, I want some of
Like
that.
I
Like,
want
Yeah.
right. Like what you doing? Like
yeah,
what's going on?
shimmy some of that over here.
It is
And
for
it
me.
is and it
Denise.
is in them small things. Like I think a lot of people don't get, like, you get so used to just getting up and going, doing
Mhm.
the like how you say, like hitting on them small things. Like when you take a
Mhm.
shower, lotion, take your time, lotion yourself up.
Uh-huh.
Buy the things that you like.
Mm.
Not for nobody else, but for yourself.
For
Good for
yourself,
you.
right?
Yeah.
Like it be them small things, like what you do at
Mhm.
home. Like it really shows up on the outside. Like, dang, what you do? I just took an extra
Nothing.
time loving on
Right.
myself.
Yeah,
Whether
got
that's
in the crevice.
yeah, like whether that's listening to a song I like, dancing,
Yeah.
writing, reading, like
Mhm.
Yeah.
pouring back into yourself is very essential, because I think sometimes we look out for the world to do it, and I think a lot of it goes like unknown or unseen or not noticed, like, oh, we're not looking for the world to pour back into ourselves, but in a sense we are. You know what I mean? Like, we watch certain things or be on social media or things like that, and you're just hoping or wishing like someone will just pour back into you because you feel like it's needed or you're worth it, and you are, but they're not
Mhm.
required to. The only
Yeah.
person that's
Yeah.
required to do that is yourself, and
Mhm.
then you expect it from someone else, but even then, don't even expect it.
No,
Baby, because
true. Period.
you
Because
just
when
might
they
not
don't do it, you
get
got
it.
to get it from somewhere, and it always has to be with you. Because I learned, like, it's a true statement. How can you love someone else if you don't even love yourself? Like,
Point.
I used to think that there was a way around that. No, because as soon as that person is gone or y'all not on good terms, now you talking about what's wrong with me.
Right.
Now you can't even look at yourself in the mirror. Now you don't even like what you see, all because you put your hope and expectations of someone else lifting you up. And you
Mhm.
got to do it yourself, and it's a daily thing.
Man,
Like, look in the mirror and say I am beautiful. Like,
you need to be intentional with that too.
not just,
You
oh,
have
I'm
to
just saying
want
it. Like,
right.
no, mean that.
Mhm.
That
With
means
your
if you gotta go work out, if you don't want, because you don't feel like, I don't like working out, but if you feel like, oh, I want to do this or do that, go work out. I'm still working on being intentional about it because it's
Yeah.
still just a thought. But
Look,
I
I
know
told you
once
I
I
put
get,
post-it notes up.
yeah, but I know once I get in there, I'm in there. It's something, a lot of this stuff is just starting.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's so hard to start. Once you do it, it's not that's not the problem. It's the getting started.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So
Agreed.
I'm a initial procrastinator then, since you said that. It takes me a long time to start something. I would keep talking about it. I would keep saying it. I would keep doing it. I would keep saying it. And it would be on my mind too to do it. But it takes me forever. And one day I just get sick of myself saying, I'm like, oh my gosh, if I don't be quiet and then just do it. And then I'll be relieved once it's done. So yeah, but you do have to be intentional. You should want to take care of yourself. You should want to look like you are a person of value. You should want to feel like you are worthy of love. Um, you should want to be able to love yourself without having any outside um, help or anything. Like it should come from within first. And yes, it should, shine on the outside from what's on the inside. That should show people in the vibe and the sparks and stuff that should make somebody like want to also get to where you are or at least have a little taste of it, like what's going
Mhm.
on? Like, what's happening? What I
Even
missed?
if they envious of it. That's all. Like, when people get jealous or envious, I'm like, well, thank you for allowing me
Right.
to
That
be important.
privilege.
Like, thank you for letting me be your motivation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that's another form of helping people, even if it's like that. Like, thank you that I even helped you and I didn't even know. And I
Right.
like, and I like showing up for people and helping people. So if I can take care of myself and it shows on the outside and someone wants that, so be it. I used to get irritated or hate it, or like even now, like, people always want to be in competition or people always this and that. I'm like, I be minding my business. I really do. I be minding my business. And it's
Mm-hmm.
always something. But the fact is, thank you. You're welcome. Like, I can even be inspiration.
You gotta think
Mhm.
about it though. Like for the people that actually have smart things to say, or for the people who like envy you, and you could see it. You could visually see that people are envious or people are, I don't even like saying jealous, because sometimes I feel like they don't even know what that is, or they don't even know why. But when they feel some type of way, like you should, instead of looking at it in a negative way, yes, you should look at it like, well, it must be something. You know what I mean? They're taking time out of the time that they need to work on themselves or figure something out about themselves to think about you and think about what you're doing or how you're acting or what impact you're having on somebody or on yourself or how you're looking or how you treat yourself and all that. Like, that have to go for something. That have to mean something. So, and I told you, I always try to look at the positive side of things, or try to look at like different angles for stuff. And sometimes, like, I feel like sometimes we do go off the deep end sometimes too soon or too much, instead of just taking it all in first and reevaluating things and just thinking about stuff in different aspects or different ways before we make a decision on how we choose to react to certain things. But if you really, and like Pim said, like, I'll stick to myself also. I work, go home, work, go home, kids, work, go home. Like, there's nothing else. And so for people to feel some type of way about that, you want to talk about it, you need to talk. You need to, I got an extra chair. You good? Like, what's up?
Okay, well, moving on. Do you feel you love yourself unconditionally?
This is a good one. I had to talk about this a little earlier. Okay, I guess I'll finish. I just wanted to throw that out there, but
I thought you was getting started. That's why I didn't say nothing.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I can real quick. It's not gonna be long. Yes, I do. I do, and I say that because I feel like even, and I forgot who I said this to, but even on any given day, like, I don't think I take stuff serious enough sometimes, because I don't go off the deep end for most things. And I come to figure out that I feel like when things happen, like when stuff don't go my way, or when stuff don't work out, when I can't figure something out, when I don't succeed at something, I don't beat myself up. I don't wonder, well, why I didn't, or I just look at it as either it's not my time, either it's not for me. I also try to look at what lesson am I trying to be taught? What is it that I'm not getting? Especially if I feel like something has happened several times, somewhat the same thing, like some deja vu type stuff. Then it got me thinking. Then it have me wondering, okay, all right, now this just happened over. Okay, so obviously what I decided and what I thought about wasn't what it should be. So what should I be doing? How should I be acting? You know what I mean? So I feel like I give myself super grace. Not saying that I just can't mess up, or I don't mess up, or I don't fail. I mean, not fail, but I don't learn or any of that. It's just that, once again, and I'm gonna be a broken record up here, but once again, this is life. Like, we're figuring this thing called life out. Okay. How else do one want us to figure out things? Like, how will we ever know if we like something or we agree with something or whatever? We never try anything. So once again, that's why I say I always like to try something. I will always try anything at least once. I'm always trying to figure out ways to get something done, to do things. I also feel like we use the word can't too much. We say we can't before we even think if we can or if we can try, or try to I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like, we just always saying we can't. How do we know though? Especially if it's something that you haven't been privy to, or you haven't seen or got shown or anything, and something is like presented to you newly, like you never heard, never done, whatever. How do you know that you can't do it? And especially, how do the next person know that you can't do it? So you got people on the outside telling you that you can't do it, and then you also have yourself telling you you can't do it. Why? Why? And I like to be the one to prove something or somebody wrong. Don't tell me what I can't do. Tell yourself what you can't do. Don't put that on me. I can do whatever I want to do. And now that you said I can't do it, that's what I want to do. So I'm going to do it. Now you can watch me do it. You can watch me figure it out, but I'm going to do it. I don't like people putting their insecurities on other people or ourselves. Don't make yourself feel insecure because what you feel like or what you think you can't do. Try it first. You never know. Looks and things can be deceiving. You never know how something may work out for you. Always try, always be willing to try anything. So, yeah.
I would say I currently do love myself unconditionally. It wasn't something that was always a thing. It was definitely a journey itself. I first had to learn how to love myself. And I think through that, I learned to love myself unconditionally and also seeing the flaws in other people. I'm someone that if I'm harsh on myself or hard on myself, I'm hard on other people. Of course, I'm harder on myself than I am the other person, but um, I learned to slow down, like you said, give yourself some grace and realize, okay, life is truly a journey. At first, I used to think life was like a race and was rushing to get this done, rushing to get that done, not realizing like there's a lot of things that I don't have, but yet I've made it this far. Um, and then just realizing like my past situations and what I gone through, and even just the type of love and heart that I have now, like the stuff I've been through, um, you would think like it would have changed me. It would have made me not want to love or be open to it, be very evil or envious and all this and that. But the reality is, it made me the complete opposite. So through that, I've learned to love myself. I have moments where I slip up, or I'm like really hard on myself, but the love is still there because there used to be a point in time that love was not there at all. And because I placed how people love me as the meaning of my love for myself, and I realized those are two different things. So I say now I love myself unconditionally, and through that I can love people unconditionally to a certain extent. I learned to love people from a distance. That's still
Yes.
love.
No, facts.
That is
On
still love.
facts.
I
On
used to
facts.
think you gotta be the way I want you to be, or I can't love you at all. And God showed me that you love him at a distance, and it's hard, but
Yeah.
it's definitely needed. Because I refuse to keep getting hurt over and over again by the same people and the same actions because I just want to love them. So yep, that's my answer.
My answer is no. Haha. Yeah, it's no. There's not much to it. Just know the answer is no.
That's not acceptable, man. We
How?
need we
It's the
need
truth.
more context to it. There is more to it. It's
There's
not just
not. I don't feel like I do. I don't.
What do you feel like that's a root of? Like
right.
what does that go back to? What is that connected to?
Let's talk about it.
No, this is not. Let's talk about it. That's
Are
that
you
was
okay with not loving yourself unconditionally?
Right.
Like, are you content with that? Is that acceptable for you and for other people? Like, Cora?
so
Government name, okay? Let's get it.
literally like, all right. So I mean, I feel like right now it is what it is. I don't have it's not a if it's acceptable or not, it just kind of is what it is. I think it's rooted in just all the negative that life has to bring, the negative spoken since I was a child, and just the battles of life. And I think that the negative thoughts outweigh the good. Um, and that's just kind of where I'm at. Go ahead.
How how much do you um or let me go ahead. Do you value more of what someone else's version of you are versus your own? And why, and if so, or if not, why would you allow someone's opinions or some other person's words to affect you enough to where it makes you feel like you're not worthy of unconditional love?
Well, I mean, some of the most who are supposed to be the most important people in your life, they speak so negative, and you start off like, oh, that was rude, that's weird, why would you say that, that's not true. But as time progresses, you begin to wonder like, damn, is there some truth to that? Why do you keep saying that to me? You got to be something about it has to be right, since this is a pattern of how you feel about me, how you speak, how you project me out there to be. Um, and then the fact that people, you know, because of their influence, they believe them, take it, run with it, and are just like, oh, yeah, that's who she is. So people have created this idea of me based on that. So it's I guess it's hard for me to not see me as that. And although at no point have I really just I don't even now I don't truly believe that that's who I am, but I do question and wonder like, okay, what parts of that is true, because this is a thing, obviously. So I don't know, it becomes mentally draining. Go ahead.
So you do know that, or you understand that very few is on the straight and narrow, right? There's very few wise people and ones that's really in touch and in tune with themselves and who really have like the knowledge out here versus everyone else who's
Pretending to be.
pretending, right? So w- and you know what? I think I'm gonna make a record or something and call it like broken record or something, because you're gonna hear me keep saying the same things over and over. Um, you have to tap into yourself. And sometimes when you're not in tune with yourself, sometimes when you don't know, or you're unwilling to put yourself and your thoughts and your feelings ahead of somebody else's, especially when it's over you, you're not just in that right headspace. And I've told you several times, and I'm going personal. I've talked to you several times about having to detach yourself for a little bit and being in your own space. Sometimes you have to void out, especially because other people's feelings and thoughts and opinions matter right now for you. I feel like you need to separate yourself so that you can only hear you. I feel like, and you need to, and I feel like that space needs to happen until you're able to, realize that people are gonna mess with the favorite ones. You're gonna get tested the most. You're gonna get talked about. You're gonna get talked to. You're gonna get talked at. You're gonna get done wrong. You're gonna get all that. And yes, I'm not saying that I handle it good. I'm not saying that I'm doing what I should do or need to do. I'm saying, however, you need to get to a point to where you realize that you're tougher than what you're probably initially feeling like you are, and you need to get to a point to where fuck them people. Excuse me, but forget them. They don't matter. This is your life. You're in control of your life. You're in control of what you do. You're in control of what you say. You're in control of how you react to certain things. You're in control of everything there is about Shakura. Nobody else. Nobody can tell. Yes, government, full government. Nobody can tell you that you're whatever the words are, blank blank, insert them. Nobody can tell you that. Nobody can tell you how they feel like you should be, or who they feel like you should be, or how you should act, or how you should talk, or how you should. Who are you? Are you how you need to be? Is the question you need to come back with. Because there's so many of us out here right now that's so freaking judgmental, especially of other people, and they haven't gotten themselves straight yet. They probably don't even know about themselves neither. They probably don't love themselves. They probably don't like, there's probably things that they don't like. And once again, is other people, when they don't have any other places to put their misfortunes, mishap, whatever, who else to put it on? They're the one who's showing themselves approved and right and doing the right things. So don't take it as, well, it gotta be some truth to that if everybody. No, it don't.
Oftentimes, you got to look at the person saying it and see if they are true. It's
Right.
not. It's not always what they say. It's the person who's saying it. Now, if you know that person and you know how they show up and how they are, anything they would say will automatically be a lie. Will automatically fall short. Right off the rip. And no matter the fact that they're family or friends or they play an important role in your life, that does not automatically give them power nor truth over the truth. It doesn't. That's not an automatic thing. It's time to take your power back. Anybody that's struggling with that, take that power back. You're giving them power to speak things over you when they don't even have the power to speak nothing about themselves.
You proving them right.
Every time, which is why every time they see you,
time
they got a lie to say.
You know what I'm gonna tell them?
Reveal yourself.
For real, like
literally.
Quit pretending to be something that you're not. Whole time you pretending you could really be.
Can really be.
And you're mad because I'm actually am, despite your efforts.
Mm.
That means you want something I got.
Oh, do you feel some type of way?
That's how you gotta play in their face. The next time, like how we talking, the next time anybody got something to say, is that's how you gotta speak. You gotta
No,
let them know that you
literally.
see them. I see you.
I
I see your
you.
tactics.
I see you. I see
And once
you.
they realize you see them, oh, they ain't got nowhere else to hide.
Period.
Nowhere else to hide. Put them on blast every time. I mean, every time. I don't care if you outnumbered or not. Every time. Put them on blast. Let them go home and sit down and think about what they've done.
No, for
About
real.
me got me about ready to curse.
Look, girl, listen, get on the train,
The
then, girl. Get on
audacity.
the train. Sure.
The audacity.
For real.
Because I've been there. There are still some situations where I am like that because I feel like I put them on a pedestal.
You do. You put people on pedestals.
And baby, no, you can't. I'll put you where you deserve to be at.
Can I get on that bitch? Can I get up there? Can I first get up there? Can I? I'm sorry. You can get on there later. Let me take it real quick. Let me see what it feel like.
And demand people to hear you. This is something I even talked with my sister about lately. Like, you got to realize there's a lot of things that you probably don't say to people because you just let them talk. You let them claim or say what they think is true about you. Now, after they're all said and done talking, you demand for them to listen to you because you listen to them. And you speak your truth. And if they don't have to agree with it, they ain't got to go along with it. They can still going back to them goons and talk about some lies and kiki ha ha all together. But whole time they miserable. Whole time they miss you. Whole time they really love you, but they don't know how to show it.
They want the connection to you. They don't care what they got to say, what they got to do to be around you. They need that. They feed off of that.
Whole time they need you. Like really dwell in that. Write that down. Put it on a notebook. Put it as your screensaver. Because I really need you to make that connection. That they really need you. And once you really make that connection and it really makes sense to you, it'll blow your mind. I bet you start walking different. I bet you walk in the room and don't care who speaks.
Just start paying attention.
I bet you be there even if they are there.
Right. Like, oh, just pop up because you already know.
Oh, her, it is me again. Needed. And will be the next day and the day after that.
2 snaps and a twist, okay?
Until somebody do something about it.
Right. But yes, no, but in all seriousness, no, there's no way we should ever feel like somebody else's opinion of us should matter more than our opinion of us should matter. And when we feel like our opinion doesn't outweigh theirs, then that's when you know you have work to do. That's when you know you have work to do. And once again, I already said, no matter what it takes. Now, in that process of you trying to get to that unconditional self-love for yourself, or that self-love, whatever it is that you're needing for yourself, that can make you separate what they're saying over what you're saying. Even if let's say you don't even like to be alone, okay? Let's go there, right? Not to say I don't know, but let's just say that. So what? There's other ways around that. There's people you could talk to. Hint, hint. Who you talking to right now? Have I ever not picked up?
Yeah.
Have they ever not picked up?
No, I'm just playing.
Stop playing with me.
No, I'm just playing.
Okay?
I'm just playing.
You know I'm up all the time. Pimp, I know she will probably be available also.
Yes, ma'am. If not, you'll get a call back.
There's nobody though, you know what I mean, that you can lean on or that you can talk to. And sometimes tell me, you know what, this time I don't need no input, or I don't need no talking, or no whatever. I just need you to listen. Tell me to shut the hell up. Cause what? But no, sometimes for real, sometimes people just need somebody there so they can hear themselves, so they can hear clear, so they can understand and put in perspective some things. And that's okay. That's okay. I'm okay with that. If that's what it takes for you to get to where you need to get to, I'm available all the time, 24, 368. I added a day.
Yeah.
Couple days.
Yeah, I was just anyway.
Yeah.
Yep. Period.
Figure it out. Like, don't ever let somebody's opinion. And like Pim said, I was the same way, which is why I'm so freaking passionate about that. And I can't believe that I allow people to get in my head. I can't believe that I allow people to make me have a view of myself that's less than what I actually view myself as. Because I was the same way, like, oh my gosh, like I don't understand. Like, it's coming from everywhere. What
Every which way and everybody.
Right. Like,
but now I wish somebody would.
What?
Try me.
Or
anybody else.
Where's my banner at?
What?
Get what?
Sometimes I wake up and just say, please try me.
What?
So I can make sure I'm standing 10 toes on everything I said. Please. You hear me? Just go ahead and try me just a little bit.
Just a little.
So I can put my words to action. So I can prove a point to myself. You know, that's the best revenge you can get on anybody.
Oh, my fault. Not that. Look, hide that. I missed Trump. No.
Whoa. This went left and quick.
Look, I got ahead of myself. Hold on. I got you. Hold up.
That baby tired.
I missed the try in there. Sorry. I was typing too fast.
Oh.
I'll be laughing at me. Okay, here we go. Maybe. Ooh, my little screen went to... What's really going on, though? Scroll across, ticker. Enter banner. Oh, there we go.
Do you believe that you are worthy of self-love or unconditional love? My apologies.
You answer that first.
I do.
Why you say that? Because it don't sound convincing and you don't look convincing. I'm sorry.
Well, excuse the heck out of my head. Mm-hmm. But second, I think everybody is. And I fall in the category of everybody.
I have a question regarding that question for all of us. And okay. I had a talk with a professor today. And she brought up a point. Do you guys think that it's possible to love unconditionally and to receive unconditional love? Do you think it's possible to love something or someone unconditionally?
Like, are you saying to love someone unconditionally and receive it receive it back from that same person?
Like either way though, like the unconditional part.
See, I think we kind of talked about the orange spark a little bit.
You know,
we gotta
what I mean?
Define what unconditional really is, because in reality, you can love someone unconditionally, but I still feel like there are some type of conditions.
So but they're not. Does that mean that's unconditional then?
But it is, because you're still willing. It's loving unconditionally with conditions. Because if you didn't love someone unconditionally, wouldn't you take your love away? Would that not be a thing? But if you still love them despite what they may or may not do, I feel like that's still a form of unconditional love. Even if that requires putting in distance, even if that requires setting boundaries. I think that's working with them instead of just saying forget them altogether.
Valid. I think it's possible. I think, for instance, I think the purest is me and Aaliyah. Like, I love her unconditionally, and she loves me unconditionally. And I now get it and know it, but I always didn't think that that was the case. Like, I knew she loved me, but I wasn't sure, like, if she could love me back or even comprehend the love that I had for her. But she has shown me that it is unconditional love, and just her understanding of my love for her, and I that's a love I've never had to question. So I would say it's possible, but I feel like, being that I don't have the unconditional love for myself, when people say that they love me, 9 times out of 10, I don't believe them. Because I'll be like, why? What do you love? Why? What do you mean?
I have
Why?
a
Like,
question about that in
okay.
general. So like how you're saying like so you know someone can love you unconditionally but you don't believe them. Is that still like receiving it?
Well, I guess I don't know. There's we can't dive into that, but there's a disconnect in there somewhere, because, like, I really find myself real like, oh my gosh, you do love them, when I see other people loving other people, like, and I'm just like, oh, they get it, like, oh, they can really do it. And I know that it can happen because I can do it for Aaliyah. Like, I know that it's possible. But when people, like, I love so much, and I can, I can express my love for them, and I know that I love them, and I do anything for it, the love is there, non-questionable. When they say that they love me back, it just, like you said, it's not received. And it's not that I don't even believe them, because they probably do. Like, I can't, you know, um prove that they don't, or like anything like that, but I question it, because it's almost I know I can love you, but how could you love me? Like, you sure? Like, you just, like, how did you come to that? You sure? Like, are you sure? So you're mute.
What makes you love somebody then? And whatever that answer is, do you think that the next person is capable of feeling the same way or having those same feelings as far as getting or showing that love and proving it?
I'm sure they can, in any direction but mine. I don't. It's just a fact. Not. I'm sure they can, and I'm sure they can in my direction. The question comes about when it's just in my direction. Like, it can be done outwardly, and I know it because I can do it outwardly. But mm, it's just sus when it's coming my when it's coming my direction. Not saying it's right, but yeah. And I think, and it may just, as I'm sitting here talking about it, it may just be anytime I'm good with that woman, it's it's love. Oh, I love you. Love you.
But you
Bye.
also know that we use that word now, like it's we throw that word around like it's like dirt. Like
Yeah, but once you're not good anymore, then all of that go away. You're not worthy of that anymore. So
from certain
you
people.
precisely,
That's
but
not
again, if that's
everybody.
no, I agree. But if that's your core, well, where your core foundation of life began and had been for 18 years, you question that at all. If you got to question your core, the foundation, it just rolls into every, because if your mama can't love you, how the hell is somebody else about to?
No, ma'am.
Because your mother may not be in a spot where the next person is. So even though that's your mother, she's still a human. And sometimes even our parents are not where they need to be. We
Mm-hmm.
also sometimes put our parents on pedestals that we shouldn't. Not saying that you don't love them, not saying that you don't respect them, not saying that you don't value their whatever, because it's apparent that you do. However, we also need to come to realization that they're humans. They fuck up. They mess up also. They don't get everything right. They're not right all the time. And it's okay for you to disagree. Disagree does not, once again, mean no love. Disagree do not mean um deleting somebody. Disagreements does not mean, well, since you don't believe what I believe, or since you don't take what I'm saying, then I'm done with you. That's not what that means. It's okay for you not to agree with something your parent verbally says or any of their beliefs. It's their beliefs. Are you a person? You're a person outside of that person. We're people. It's okay for that. And I feel like sometimes when we do put that pedestal up, we feel like they can do no wrong, or they have the answers, or their opinions matter more than mine. No, it don't. I'm sorry. It doesn't. It doesn't. And if you and basically you get to where you're trying to live for your parents. You can't live for them. You can't live for them. You got to live for yourself. Yourself, nobody else. They can't live for you. I mean, we say it. Yes, we're living for our kids. No, we adore our kids. We want the best for our kids. We value our kids. We love our kids and all that. But we're living for ourselves. We're teaching these kids, instilling in these kids things that will hopefully they will adhere to where they can grow up to be uh responsible adults and citizens, and people walking this earth and doing the right things and living in ways that can be honorable and all that. But we also don't have the blueprint. I'm a parent. I don't have the goddamn blueprint. Some things I just will be wrong at. And I have to accept that. And if you're a decent, wise human being, even parent or not, you're going to accept the fact that sometimes you get things wrong. Sometimes you're not going to always be right about something. And it's okay. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. That don't mean you're imperfect. That don't mean, well, it do. But that don't mean that that's bad. That's a bad thing necessarily. It's not bad. It's okay to take them off that pedestal. Yes, they're our parents. We love them. Yeah. And what? We're going to let them just walk us to our grave too? We're going to let them talk us because we value them and we put them up so much, and they can say anything and handle us anyway and guide us in however they feel like. So we're gonna just let them guide us to our destruction. We're gonna let them overpower our minds. We're gonna let them overpower our thinking of ourselves. And especially once we hit a stage or age to where now we're thinking on our own, now we're handling and we're living on our own, now we're making decisions about our lives on our own, we're still going to rely on. That's insane. And honestly, just hearing that, I just feel like that's the issue. But that's something that we can't fix, though. That's something that we can't. I mean, I can talk till I'm blue in my face, but if you don't believe it, if you don't see any need to change or look deep inside and understand how important you are over anybody else, your opinion is more important than anybody else's in life. There's nothing that we can do. And I know for me personally, just that shit saddens me. Like I don't feel good knowing that you're allowing somebody to make you feel a certain type of way, or make you paint a picture of yourself, or make you treat yourself in a way that's not favorable to who I know that you are. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. In my opinion, it's just bullshit. And it makes me, those things is what makes me angry. Those things is what pisses me off. Those things is what gets these frowns on my face for those people, though, that's actually doing that. Because sometimes some people are not strong enough to withhold that type of shit. Sometimes some people are not able to tear away from what they've known their whole fucking life. Sometimes people are not able to see outside of what they've been told and what they've been shown. And I get that. I swear I get that. I promise you I was there. I swear I get it. And I get it, which is why it makes me so angry. It makes me so mad at those people, because they look and they prey on people like us, which is why this self-love and this self-journey is so important. It's so important that we work on ourselves. It's so important that we think more of ourselves. It's so important that we pour into ourselves. It's so important that we speak life, that we look at life with a lens that's our own and not anybody else's. You're going to be responsible for your decisions. You're going to be responsible for what you choose and what you decide to do in life. You are, not your mama, not your daddy, not me, not your cousins, not your friends, nobody. You are responsible for that. So why is it hard for you to have the final say on who you are, how you treat people, what you're like, how you love, how you see things, any of that. You are in control of that. Don't let nobody make you feel like, or try to even slip in to even make you feel like you're unworthy. They're trying to get you to this state, and you're proving them, and you're giving them, you're just feeding into them. Don't let them fucking defeat you. You stronger than that, and I know. You're goddamn stronger than that, Cora. For real. Don't let that shit happen to you. Don't do that. Now I'm done. Shit, because I'm done. Anyway.
Just know she mean that with every being in her being. Couldn't have said it better.
Well,
Go so
thank you.
hard because I love you. You know what? Another form
I
of
already
self-love
told
is?
you, I'm not going to just say nothing just to agree with you or appease you or make you smile all the time. Sometimes my shit is going to sting, but it's the truth, or it's a truth. And I feel like it's true when it comes to you. And I feel like out of anybody, I feel like if you haven't opened up, and you probably haven't even opened up to me all the way, which is fine. However, I feel like I know you better than them. And I feel like I could speak. I feel like I could say these things with all sorts of truths and dead asses and all that. I know. And I know that shit hurts. The shit hurt. I can see you hurting. Looking at you right now, I see your ass hurting. Bad. And it makes me hurt because there's nothing that I can personally do. I could be here. I could be an ear. I could talk my ass off. I could do all that, but I cannot fix it. You're in control of that. And I just told you, I can't wait till you get to that point to where you're wanting to. I just told you I was even happy that you even made a decision about a family member. That was fucking big. So I know it's in you. I know you could do it. You just have to do it on your time, and we just have to be patient enough and walk with you. And I'm here. But the shit is aggravating, though. It is aggravating when you seeing somebody in that's not loving themselves, that's very capable of it, and not feeling like that they deserve it, which they fucking absolutely do. It's hard.
Well, sorry.
Nothing to be sorry about.
I don't want you to feel bad though.
I do though, so
I know, but stop that.
no, I'm a sucker.
Runs in the family.
Anyway, that went off on a little tangent. Sorry, guys. But y'all get realness over here with me.
Period. If it ain't that,
Not rehearse anything, okay? I don't. This is all coming from me just feeling, me just looking, me just seeing, me just hearing. Like some, and we talked already before about how we disguise things and how we put on fronts and how we put on scenes, movie scenes and stuff. And I'm just so happen to be one who can look past all that shit. I'm just happen to be one where you can't really just feed me anything and I just take it for what you're trying to make me take it as. No, sorry. Not it.
Yep. So do y'all?
We have to put on fronts. It's a shame we have to put on player poker faces, whatever you want to call it, just to have to deal with every day. nothing else besides just deal with every day. It's a shame we have to do that.
I agree.
Okay, somebody else can speak.
Well, do y'all believe y'all are worthy of unconditional love?
Fuck yeah. Okay, sure.
Mhm.
Yes. Okay. And even if it's not unconditional, it better be some form of it. I better see it. I better feel it. And if I don't feel it, it ain't real. And get away from me with it. I don't want to hear it or see it or any of that. Don't infect me with that bullshit you got going on. I want real stuff. And fortunately, I know what that is, and I know what it feels like and what it looks like. People play with people too much, and in your face, people play with you in your face. Yes.
The
I feel like what I give out, hell yes, I feel like I should receive it. Do I? Barely. I can't be the judge of that. If it's given a little bit, do I gotta be thankful for it? Yes. Do I feel like I need more? Yes. Am I gonna get it? Who knows? But yes, I feel like I deserve all that. I feel like I deserve whatever it is I say I deserve. And that happens just to be on the top of the list. Yes. Matter of fact, I feel like everybody deserves to be loved unconditionally. You shouldn't have to put a condition on how we love each other. Well, you know what? You looked at me wrong. I don't know if I love you. Pimp, you didn't respond to my message when I sent it to you. I don't think that's love right there, so I don't want to show it. Are we serious? Are we serious? Get up out of here, man. Anyway, somebody else can answer.
So the question was, do you feel like you're worthy of unconditional love?
Yes.
Yes. I feel like everyone. I don't know if everyone. I don't know. I'm still working on that part. If everyone is worthy of it. However, a form of love, yes. Unconditionally, I'm working on that. That's just a personal. Because I can't say just everybody. My ideal is everybody, but then I got like one or two people, and I'm like, yeah, no. But I do feel like growth aspect in the future me. I would say everyone is worthy of it. Even now, I can say everybody's worthy of it. Now, will it always be easy? No. But everyone is worthy of it. And what they do with it is what they do with it. You can't control how people will receive it and how they will act upon it, whether they give it back to you or whether they pour it back into themselves. But I feel like they should at least receive it from you if you're at that place in life to give it. So yeah, that's my answer.
So, what does it look like to have unconditional love for yourself? And how did you develop this love for yourself? And before y'all get to going, I'm exempt because we've already established that I ain't got that. So, this is for y'all for real.
I would say, oh, okay.
I don't like how you ducking these questions though.
How do you duck something? I don't have. The answer was no previously. So, how do you? What does it look like to have that for yourself? I don't got it. How did you develop this? I ain't developed nothing.
Yet.
Listen, Daddy.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. I'm just I wasn't trying to like I just I mean, that was just, I mean, that was the answer right there to both
Okay.
questions. So
All right.
I was just gonna let y'all, get the people what they need.
Okay.
Log in
Sorry,
and
Pam.
see.
Go ahead.
I would say it looks like willing to put in the work or go through the journey despite it all. Um, whether that's with a friendship or loving yourself. I feel like unconditionally is just willing to do it, despite if you're tired, despite if you don't want to, despite lack of motive, lack of anything, just really willing to just do it despite it all. And I think that covers a lot, honestly, right there. Because a lot of people will stop as soon as it gets tough or hard, or if it's not from the person you want it from, or if you just don't feel like it, like if your emotions won't allow you. Um, but unconditionally is willing to push through it and do it because you know that it has to be done and know that there's going to be reward on the other side of it.
Yeah. I second that. I don't know if you was done or not, but I don't think there's nothing else you need to put on top of that besides pimp at you answering um how you developed it for the love for yourself. But other than that, like I feel like I agree with every single word that you said on what it looks like.
How I developed it? Shoot, situations, trauma. I mean, it was really like a journey, a life lesson, and it's willing to learn from the things that you've been through because you can go through stuff and just keep going through it, but it's different when you learn from it and apply it to other situations to come. Because the thing about it is, they're gonna come. I used to be naive and think that if I do this, if I do that, the situations will stop, the
Right.
test will stop. But I was a fool. I was young and foolish, and I've realized all at the beautiful age of 27 that ain't never gonna happen. And I mean never. Not in this lifetime. It is not going to happen. You will
Mhm.
always go through a trial and tribulation. It is written.
Always.
Always. With a S. Forever.
Hmm.
Because
Forever.
that's the whole point of this life journey is
Hmm.
to go through things and learn from them and grow. That's how you develop. You
Hmm.
want to be a person that you want to be that person or you want to be that future you. Okay, what does that look like to get there? Even if it is exceeding the goal of being whatever it's supposed to be, what steps and trials and tribulations are you going to have to go through to get to that point?
Right.
You can't just snap and be there. And if you think that you keep going through stuff and think that, oh, eventually I'll get there, you won't. You'll just be all of 20, 30 years older, still going through the same stuff and still not know where you want to be.
Yes, and I'm what, 10 years older than you or something like that? Still going through it. So you dead ass. You right for real.
So I think that's how you really develop it. Like,
Yeah.
realize that everything you going through, went through, and will go through is part of the journey.
Hmm.
I'm not gonna say you're not gonna get tired. You're gonna get tired. You're gonna cry.
You're
It's
gonna
gonna
be
bring you to your knees. It's gonna make you just want to Lord, come pick me up now. But
right.
the reality is, you have to go through it. Like, that's the only way,
Hmm.
and it don't last always unless you want it to be.
Yeah.
I got tired of the same old, same old. Like, if I'm gonna go through this, let me maximize it. That's my motto in life. Anything I go through, anything that I do, it needs to be with a purpose, with intention. Because I refuse to go through something and it all be for nothing. You mean to
Hmm.
tell me my childhood was like that, all for nothing?
What?
You mean I got the life I have and the parents I got all for nothing? I be damned. Mm-mm. I would be mad at myself
Yes.
for allowing it to go in vain. So I think that's how you develop it, is through situations. And everybody goes through stuff. Now, everyone goes through different severity of things, different ways or situations, but everybody go through stuff. And you got to realize life is a journey and be willing to ride the ride
Yeah.
or check out. But I don't recommend that
At all.
at all.
Period.
That's a shortcut to nothing.
Nothing. I really don't have anything to say. You really said it for both of us, for real. No, she really touched on it. And I wrote something down for her, but she took everything. I said time, patience, grace, heartache, pain, tears, self-reflecting. That's everything that she touched on. That's literally how you get to that. Like, and that's basically in a nutshell, going through life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, saying and believing that this thing we call, or this place where we at, like, it's full of unknowns. We don't know anything. We're learning. That's why I said no failures. They're learning situations. There's things that pick our interests. Some things don't, but at any cost or whatever, for whatever reason, we find different lessons or different things to take away, to use, or to live by, or to guide us in furthering getting through this thing. Like, for me personally, pain, I had so much of it. You don't want it. Like, you don't want it. At some point, you do get to where it's like, sometimes the pain can be so unbearable. Sometimes the letdown and the disappointment can be so. And I think, just for me personally, I've chosen to not allow myself to want people to well, okay, some could call me a lie on this, but honestly, deep down, I really don't want no one else to feel how I feel, because the shit hurts, and things are like like certain situations, and how people treat you and all that is terrible. There is some instances, however, where sometimes I do feel like, when people just take you for granted, I feel like there's no other way for them to understand but for them to be in your place. However, that only lasts for so long, though. And then you snap back into reality. You won't want nobody to feel how you're feeling. You won't want nobody to go through what you're going through, because you know how you're feeling behind it. You know what that thing is making you do, or how it's transforming your thoughts, and how it's guiding how you live your life. You don't want the next person, or you shouldn't, let me say, you shouldn't want the next person to have to deal with that, or go through that, or feel that way. So, in my view, in my mind, I feel like we should do anything and everything we can to prevent that. Not saying that we're people who can just make everything or anything happen or whatever, but if we can be ones who can prevent something, prevent somebody from feeling a certain type of way, thinking a certain type of way, having to endure some type of pain that you possibly felt, or any of that, why not do that? Why not go that way, instead of being spiteful, evil, and conniving, and all that, and wanting people, well, this was done to me, so it can happen to you. I don't care. That's not how you look at it at all. You learn something, we hear. We don't know anything. We learn something, we pass it on. We don't try to keep it to ourselves because we feel like the next person is going to up us, or they going to have some type of precedence over us, or they going to know more than what we know. They're going to have more than what we have. That's selfishness. Get out of that. That's the wrong type of selfishness, I should say. But yes, pain, that's the number one way of coming into loving yourself unconditionally. And time, because it do take time. You have to give yourself, that's where the grace also comes in, and you have to give yourself time to get to that place. This just may not be some people's time to do certain things, or mindsets to be certain ways, or thinkings to be certain ways. It just may not be that time yet. We can't expect other people to be, to be how we are, or to be in the space that we're in this day and time. We can't expect that. Everybody have their own journey. Everybody have their own lanes. Everybody driving and walking their own lanes in their own way. And at some point we will meet up. Some point, some people will meet up with each other and all that. But other than that, these are self journeys. Self. Not others' journeys. Self journeys. You know I'm looking at you. But yeah, Pimp is right. Like everything that she said, I second and third and fourth and fifth and up to 10th, all that what she said.
Okay, well, that wraps us up for episode number 2, week number 2 for our self-love journey. Thank you all who have tuned in. Be sure to stay tuned for week 3 next week of our self-love journey. Be sure and dive into your own self-love journey. Take notes. Take heed to what they both done said, and get done what you need to get done. So until next week, Cicely Sparks is out.
Bye.
Good night.